Nothing wrong with that.
That's right.
Absolutely. Well, the Mudcats had a pretty good run there at the end of last year, and obviously, had a great run in the consolation bracket. You guys made it all the way to the championship, even got the bye there, and fell up just a little bit short against the Hustle. That was a very strange final game. I came out and watched you guys for a couple innings. All the runs were scored by like the second inning.
Yeah, I thought we was going to be in for a big shootout. We put up tons of runs, both of us, first two innings, and after that, neither team scored a run.
Yeah,
it ended up being a one-run game. But
it was strange. I think after two innings, it was like 7-6 or something. I thought, boy, these guys are going to be here till about 3:00 this afternoon. And I see the score on the website later, and nobody scored again. So interesting how baseball goes sometimes. All the runs scored right off the bat, but certainly topped off a pretty good campaign for you guys, getting all the way to the championship game and putting up quite a few wins last year.
Yeah, it was a good accomplishment. I'd like to have won the consolation, just to build upon this year. But, I'll take it. It was our second year in the league, and, we've had, player shortages certain times. But it just goes to show, if we got our full squad there, we can compete pretty good. Even though it's a consolation bracket, honestly, there's some pretty good teams throughout this league, even in the consolation bracket. So it was a season.
Yeah, it was a tremendous run for you guys. For sure, last year making it all the way there. And obviously, one of the great rivalries you guys are able to maintain there with my partner there at the other end of the line playing those Colt 45s. You guys had an interesting game in that consolation bracket. It was almost like a football score.
Oh, yeah. We jumped out to, I think, a 13-4 lead or something like that in like the fourth inning.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it was crazy. Then the wheels fall apart, and Paul Frank got hit in the eye, misjudged a line drive. There was 2 outs, I believe. All he had to do was make that catch. He misjudged it, busted his eye open. The next thing I know, it's 13-12, and at the end of the inning, and then it was just a shootout from there.
Yeah, and that had to be a crazy game. I know we were sitting in the parking lot watching after our game, and I thought, geez, these guys are still playing, and it had to be a fun game. Though 36 runs scored, and probably good memory for you guys to build upon as you go forward here in 2020. Well, we appreciate you giving us a little preview of the 2020 Mudcats. Go get some more guys for Sunday, and best of luck to you. We'll see you out on the field here soon.
All right, sounds good. Good luck to you guys
Jeremy.
this year.
Too, man.
Thanks.
See ya.
Bye.
Thanks again, Jeremy. Appreciate that, spending the time with us and update the Mudcats. And at this point, we're going to move on and do our last preview. And again, Jason and I are going to be able to handle this one, and we are going to go ahead and take care of the Chiefs and with the information that we were given, and we'll go with the Chiefs and then close on out. And this segment is brought to you by McFall Law Firm. If you've been hurt in a car accident, you know you're going to have to deal with someone's insurance company, right? You know the stress is coming. So why not hire an attorney that used to represent insurance companies? Attorney Tanner McFall with McFall Firm is that guy. Former assistant prosecutor and former defense counsel for one of America's largest insurance companies. From their team to yours, Attorney Tanner McFall levels the playing field. Give McFall a call, 513-469-0888. Again, that number is 513-469-0888. Or check them out online at McFallFirm.com. That's McFallFirm.com. Protect your recovery. Call McFall today.
And for our final team preview, the league's only new team to the 2020 season, a team that's been a powerhouse in the CRC for a long time. And this year, welcoming them into the CABL. They have some guys that would be some familiar faces that have played on the league for a number of years, some guys that were with the Roosters team in 2017 and 2018. Talking, of course, about the Chiefs. Unfortunately, their manager, Jeff Hanna, not able to join us, but Ray and I are going to take care of this one on our own. And Ray, this is one of those wild cards. I mean, they have Tilly, Chappie, Monday, one of my old guys, Jordan Cudney, going there. But after that, kind of a wild card. Not really sure what they have, but they've been a powerhouse in the 18 and over division for a long time.
Yeah, it's going to be a surprise team coming out, and everybody going to have to learn a new team, which, it makes it kind of fun. You get to learn some new guys coming into the league, and we may see some familiar faces from that team too. Besides the ones that have been in the league, there may be some guys on that team that have played in the league or subbed in the league at sometime. So it's going to be interesting to see what they have when they come out onto the field.
Yeah, it will be. And from the brief conversation I had with Jeff Hanna a while back and the text I've had with Nick Tilley over the winter, basically all I can really tell you about him right now is, I know Hanna has those three guys that we mentioned, the Roosters guys. He told me he has a couple of stud 26-year-old pitchers who are not old enough yet, so they could be a real factor next year. He kind of figured it might be a little rough to mix and match this year, but I know they were really looking to next year to make a splash. And then the other thing, when I was talking to Tilly, I know they were having some trouble with numbers in the offseason, whether or not they were going to be able to do this or not. And from what he was telling me, there was apparently a CRC team named the Pharaohs who had a handful of committed guys, but maybe not so the entire team, but some older guys, and apparently they're bringing them on. So that's something that Nick told me a while back to kind of get those numbers up. So that's kind of all we really know about them, but we do know from teams that have played in this league that have had that so-called feeder team from CRC, it's worked out pretty well. I know from personal experience, it's how the Yankees were built to become a powerhouse from and also ran. We had the Meridians guys. We got the really good players that would always come up and play with the Yankees. The Sting had that with the Chiefs for a while coming up. The Cobalts had it. So that can be a real plus if you've got that lower age group playing, and when those guys get of age, right, it's kind of like a minor league system bringing those guys up.
Yeah, that's going to be strong for them, and when you're able to feed off of the young guys and bring them in, so it's going to be exciting, like I said, and see what they have, and especially like you said for next year, we're definitely having to find the fountain of youth in the league right now, and it looks like it's starting to strive towards the younger group, which is good. And so we'll see what the Tilly and the boys have when they come out, and hopefully it'll be here in May, and we'll get going.
And it's going to make things awfully competitive with the Chiefs wrapping up our final preview. But obviously, you'd have to say after 3 shows of doing this, nothing's changed at the top. The Hooks are still the team to beat. 7-time defending champions. But they're not invincible. There are certainly some teams there that could give them a run for their money. I mean, you look at what the Bulls have done. They're going to be much improved after the last 3-4 years. They've been pretty solid to begin with. You had the Suds finishing second last year, the young Meridians group. The Yankees team I'm bringing back is probably going to be, if I have everybody back, better than we were last year. We talked about all the guys Randy had on the hustle. You got the Colt 45s can give you a hard time. Deerfield's always trouble. And if I haven't mentioned your team name in here, my apologies. I'm just kind of going off the top of my head here. But there's a lot of teams. I don't want to give anybody any ammo there, but there's so many good teams. And again, I'm just rattling these teams off the top of my head. The Sting, what they've done, the guys they're bringing in. Man, there's some good teams in the league.
Yeah, there's a lot of. I don't think there was any team that we talked to that has not improved. I mean, the only one you could say that did improve is the Chiefs, and that's just because they're a new team.
Yeah, we don't know. Yeah.
We just don't know. But and I would say we could throw the Reds in that mix too of unknown because they are kind of rebuilding. But everybody else has improved and strengthened in their weaknesses that they had last year. Hopefully, like our big one last year was injury prone. So
yeah,
hopefully we'll all stay healthy this year, and that'll help us too. But I mean, yeah, like you said, the Suds, the Bulls, the Hustle,
the Braves.
The Braves. Yeah,
it just shows you how many good teams. I completely forgot the Braves were a Final Four team last year, and they added a 6'9" pitcher who played, I believe, at North Carolina. So they could be dangerous too. I mean, all these teams I just rattled off have sometime in the last few years been one of the top few seeds or made it to the Final Four or been a challenger for the league title. So, that's at least 8, 9, 10 teams I just mentioned there that, boy, any given year could be a Final Four team.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a real fight to make the top 8 into the upper bracket of our playoffs this year. There's, like you said, we could probably really look at it, and you're probably 12 to 14 teams deep that could really battle for those 8 spots. I mean, without surprises, and every year we have surprises, so you never know. But I mean, every single team, like we said, is improved, and we had a good year last year. So with the strength and how everybody played last year, so looking forward to a good year. I just can't wait to get it started. But it's gonna be good.
Yep. Hopefully sooner rather than later. And even some of those teams that we didn't mention that maybe championship level teams, but some teams that can give you fits at any given time. You talk about the Dodgers. Orioles are an up-and-coming team. The Expos showed some promise last year. You got to figure the Flying Tigers. They get a couple younger guys that weren't able to pitch last year. They can give you fits at any given day. So, yeah, it's deep. I think we've have more parity now than we ever have. You go pretty far down the line. You better bring your best each day, or there's a lot of teams out there that can beat you.
Yeah, and one of the other teams we didn't mention that also has done it is the Mudcats.
Oh, yeah, Mudcats.
Mudcats, yeah. I mean, they're going to be strong again this year, and after covering it, they're strengthening up a little bit. I think they got a couple more full-time guys, and it's going to be a strong year, and look forward to it. So,
well, hopefully we can get out there and talk about our players of the week, games of the week, and get everything going. Tired of talking about this stinking virus.
Yeah, exactly. So hopefully next week again, like I said, maybe we'll have a little more information, maybe get a little bit closer date or get some more information for the next show. And, Jason and I, if we have to, we might just do a call-in show this next one, or something to eat up a little bit of time if we have to before we can do a true preseason schedule release, if you will. One other option that was also, I had a couple opinions that I think be checking out on Facebook, that we are looking at maybe doing a coaches seating kind of deal, like a preseason ranking from the coaches. So we could maybe talk about that on the show and a couple other things, Jason.
Yeah, and to be perfectly transparent about the preseason ranking situation, Ray and I will not be doing the rankings. So
correct.
Save your venom if you're not ranked where you think you should be. I think Dave Rink set up a little poll for us there online, so everybody can get in there anonymously, rank the teams 1 through 21, and we'll get a composite, see where the preseason rankings are. I think that'd be fun. Do something like that. But again, just to make sure you and I aren't on the hot seat, we're not doing the rankings. We're just going to talk about where they stand.
Yeah, we discussed that, and we definitely. Yeah. And to be honest with you, it's not fair that we just do it. So I like the idea of the coaches doing it. The coaches are the ones that are involved with knowing all the transactions and things going on and all that. So I think it's a good idea to let the coaches do it, and so we'll get that done.
Yeah, that sounds like fun. Well, lots of good stuff coming forward. We can at least talk about that before we start to get to some real baseball, and hopefully that is coming soon. Let's hope.
Yeah, that'd be good. Hey, guys, just want to say thanks again to our sponsors out there for BP Bats, McFall Law Firm, and Hand in Hand Realty for doing some sponsorship now. I know it's going to be tough finding one, coming out of this virus and stuff like that. But I think what we're going to try to do is if you've got some local hangouts and things like that you guys have that you want to help get back up off to this after the virus scare and everything else, let us know. We'll give a free plug for a week or two and do different things and try to boost some of the help back. So. Thanks again for listening, guys. We really appreciate it. Jason and I see the popularity with the league and the guys doing it, and we really, really, really appreciate it. So thanks again for listening. And Jason, with that, take us out.
All right. Thank you, Ray. Thank you for all you do. I know it's a challenge putting all this together, and nobody does it better than you. That's going to wrap it up for this week. You can follow us on Spreaker.com, find us on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Google Play. Like us on Facebook and look us up on Twitter. And don't forget to check out the league's website. That's www.cincywithayabl.com. Special thanks to this episode's guests. That would be Brian Rust of the Suds, Jeremy Allen of the Mudcats, and Justin Pribble from the Expos. Hope you join us again next week for the next episode of the Two Cutoff Men. Until then, for Ray Sterling, I'm Jason Earhart saying thanks for listening. Thank God.